Hungary, 1956. Soviet tanks smashed the Hungarian attempt to win democracy and independence. Imre Nagy and the other leaders of the uprising were executed. Economic reforms improved life for a while, then hit disaster. By 1989, the communist government was losing control. But Soviet troops remained in the land. The Hungarian people were growing angry again. Fear drove the regime to promise political changes and more democracy.
The country was in close to an abyss, close to a total crisis situation. Economically, we accumulated by the time a huge debt. Politically, all the key players within the country realized that there is no way to get a better life via reforming the socialist model.
In March 1999, Prime Minister Nemeth visited Moscow. The Hungarian leaders were planning free, multi-party elections. But would this be too much for Gorbachev?
I said, I don't know as of this moment when we will have the first elections. But knowing that you stationing in the territory of the country roughly 80,000 soldiers, and having in mind the experience of '56, when your tanks crushed the revolutionaries and all the forces who fought that time for freedom, will you repeat the '56 exercise or not? And Gorbachev, without hesitation, responded quite clearly to me. I don't agree with the multi-party system, the introduction of the multi-party system in Hungary. But that's not my responsibility, that's your responsibility. There will be no instruction or order by us to crush it down. So that was quite important message.
A nameless grave in Budapest hid the murdered leaders of the 1956 uprising. Now the government agreed to rehabilitate them, the dead and the living. Erzsébet Hrozova was 18 when she fought in the uprising. She spent 12 years in prison.
I felt as you do when a plaster is removed, and that you can breathe freely. You don't have to lower your head anymore. I felt I could breathe again.
Imre Nagy and his comrades were given a public funeral. The government declared that the 1956 revolution was justified. The crowd listened to the names of the martyrs.
I was stunned to see that on that list young boys, when they imprisoned them, arrested them, they were 16 years old. And they waited till they celebrated their 80th birthday. And next morning they killed some of them. The reburial meant to us a reconciliation with our past and history. It meant a new start, a fresh start, especially in the political side of our life, and a renewal.
A month before, the Cold War had lost a symbol. The Hungarian government took down the barbed wire on its border with Austria and the West. The Soviet Union did nothing. Although travel was still not completely free, the Iron Curtain was starting to unravel.
I refused to give to the Home Minister money in that year's budget for the renewal, the refurbishment of the old barber wired system.
They said that the Iron Curtain was technically obsolete. It didn't work as a barrier anymore. They should not maintain a construction that endangered people's lives.
Hungary's boldness alarmed the hard-line Warsaw Pact leaders.